Bright Duty. Every student matters.
So some compounds interact with water and they arrange water around them in form of a crystal. So it is not a very accurate description that I'm going to draw, but it's just for your understanding that one molecule of CuSO4 has 5 molecules of water arranged around it. They're not chemically bonded, but they are just arranged and in close proximity, and that is why when these molecules are called as water of crystallization. So washing soda interacts with 10 molecules of water to form a crystal. Copper sulfate forms it with 5. This number 5 or 10 is constant. That is why it is not like an aqueous solution. So if I'm saying that is it wet? No. If it to be wet, it means that you are randomly mixing some water and some salt. Water of crystallization is a specific number of water molecules that arrange around an atom and give it some properties. For example, copper sulfate, which is a blue colored crystal. If you heat it, the color, the water, this 5 molecules will also evaporate, and you will see that the color changes from blue to white. This indicates that the water of crystallization has left the molecule and now the color is white because of it. So the water of crystallization was giving it the property of the color. I'm repeating again, water of crystallization are those molecules of water which are arranged around a salt, give it some properties. The number is specific. It is 5 fixed for copper sulfate, 10 fixed for Na2CO3, and they form a specific crystal which cannot be felt as wetness. Another use of this water of crystallization is in POP. So there is this substance CaSO4.2H2O, which is commonly called as gypsum. Gypsum is CaSO4, that is calcium sulfate, which interacts with 2 molecules of water. So if you take gypsum powder and if you heat it at 373 Kelvin, what will happen? This new substance CaSO4.5H2O will be formed. This substance is POP, commonly known as plaster of Paris. So this substance is a powdery substance and it is often used by doctors and even by at construction at home. It is a powdery substance, but when you mix it with water, it converts back into this hard substance of gypsum, a hard solid mass. So it is very useful. You take this powdery substance and you put it around whatever substance that you want to make hard, and you add water. By adding water, it will convert back into this hard solid mass which will give it strength. So that is how POP works. Now another question that comes is this does this half indicate that half a molecule is attached? No, half a molecule is not a possibility. What happens is that 2 molecules of CaSO4 share 1 molecule of water, and that is why with a single molecule we are mentioning half. So let us just review what is water of crystallization. It is those molecules of water which arrange around a particular salt in a specific number to give it certain properties. One example is CuSO4, another is washing soda, and another is gypsum. An application of this is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is a white powdery substance. When it is mixed with water, it converts into the hard form of gypsum again, and it is used by doctors in growing fractures. That is all for this chapter. Let us just review what we have covered so far. In the first part, we covered the physical and the chemical properties of acids and bases. We understood how do they react to form salts. In the second part, we studied that what is pH, how does it tell what is a weak acid and what is a strong acid. In the third part, we studied what are salts and what are the compounds that are made using NaCl and their applications. In the end, we studied what is water of crystallization. That's all for this chapter.